Hi, guys, and welcome back to Sugar or Shits. So, there's going to be a whole lot of sugar in this episode, a little bit of shit. I know that there is somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000 different kinds of species of plants, and somewhere around 2 to 3,000 different types of herbs. 200,000 to 300,000 different kinds of species of plants and 2 to 3,000 different types of herbs. So if we just stop and think about that, that's a lot of knowledge. That is, plants can be compounded, mixed together, infused, therefore making it a little difficult. Not quite as difficult as the chemical bonding of pharmaceutical drugs, but it can be slightly complicated. If you do not have the knowledge yourself, or you have not sought out knowledge from an individual that has practiced and also applied. And this takes years. This is not something that you could just wake up and say, oh, you know what? I'm going to get into herbs and I'm going to heal myself or I'm going to heal other people. No, that's not how this works. Because there are so many herbs and plants. You have to have knowledge of what can be taken internally and what cannot. There are a lot of people out here that I have heard of that have literally killed themselves. Either one, overdosing on herbs, taking too much of a good thing, or either B, taking something that should have not been taken internally and it did not work out good for them. So, where was I? There's 200 to 300,000 different kinds of plants and 2 to 3,000 different species of herbs. I'll start with chamomile. Everybody knows about chamomile, I'm sure. If you don't, this herb is pretty powerful. The uses, it's used to take away pain, to soothe you. It's used to take away inflammation of the bowel as well. And the oils, when it's compressed, the oils can be used to fight against pains and aches, including joint cramps, migraines, and the female menstrual periods, as well as relaxation. We have Cinquefil, which is used to reduce inflammation and treat sore mouths and ulcers. And when compressed, the juices are used to aid in jaundice. And if you don't know what jaundice is a defect in the liver, a disease in the liver that causes yellow eyes. And this Cinquefil is also used in helping hoarseness, and it treats coughs and sore throats. We have columbine. And this is a slightly poisonous plant. It can be very poisonous. So my suggestion for this plant is to be used external. A lot of lotions and astringents and things like that. That's what I use this plant for. We have feverfew, and it's effective for migraines and fevers, and it also aids in arthritis. So if you have, older, elders in your family, your mom, your dad, or aunts or uncles, and they're having arthritis problems and things like that, feverfew is something that is good for that. We have foxglove, and foxglove is in its pure form. It strengthens the heart and it regulates it as well. This is just a wonderful herb. We have goldenrod, and that's another one that's used for female painful menstrual cycles. So if you have one of those women that have painful menstrual cycles, goldenrod is something that you should possibly check out. But before all means, like I said before you go and purchase these things and use them, you should not only do your own research, but first and foremost, you should seek someone that is more so professional in this area. They have to have knowledge of herbs. Like I said before, they have to have applied them. Myself, I've been doing this for 27 years, possibly a little bit more. So where was I? What was I talking about? I'm sorry. So it was goldenrod, yeah. So goldenrod, it's used for painful menstruals for the women. It's also used in eczema and arthritis, and it can be applied to the skin for the healing of ulcers. We have another root that helps women, and it's called lady's mantle. Now, this root, it stops the bleeding, and the herb itself has been known to stop excessive menstruation. So this is something, if you're going through something like that, like I said, once again, seek a professional, or either get in touch with me. My email is divinity, DIVINITY, always with the Z, ALWAYZ, at iCloud.com. I can answer many questions, as well as help you with infusing of the herbs and plants. So we talked about foxglove, goldenrod, feverfew. We talked about columbine. We talked about cinquefoil. We talked about chamomile. We talked about lady's mantle. Oh, lavender. So we have lavender, and everyone should know about lavender. If you do not know about lavender, I'm sure you've bought some products that had lavender in it. And lavender, one thing that people don't know about lavender is that it helps in preventing fainting, associated with nausea. So not only does it do this, but in the oil form, it reduces stress. It can also lower your blood pressure, and it aids in eczema and psoriasis as well. We have lovage, and this plant right here, it aids in digestive and eases internal pain. Excuse me. It also diminishes the redness of the eyes. So if you suffer for something like that and it's not undergoing of another issue, lovage is something that's good for that. We have pennyroyal. This is used for headaches and also used for colic pains in the abdomen. Did I say that right, guys? Abdomen, stomach, tummy, belly, same thing. So it eases the symptoms of colic pains. And also eases the symptoms of fever that's associated with whooping cough and measles. We have poppy. So a lot of us out there, we eat poppy seeds, or we eat poppy muffins and things like that. And a lot of people, poppy seeds are associated a lot of time with drugs. So let me tell you about this herb. It soothes coughs, and it also induces sleep. So, and its petals are helpful in treating asthma, bronchitis, whooping cough, and angina. We also have prime rose, and prime rose is really good. I particularly like this herb, and it's used in a sedative. It induces sleep and rest by reducing tension. So if you're stressed out, you got a lot on your brain, a lot on your plate, you just want to relax and chill out, prime rose is a good herb for that. When it's infused, And if it's taken in spoonfuls in the right doses, the effectiveness in healing headaches is tremendous. It's also used for treating gout and rheumatism. So if you have elders in your family or that you know of, that have arthritis or gout, rheumatism, prime rose is a really good herb for that. We also have rosemary, one of my favorites. Rosemary is used to treat headaches. A lot of people don't know that. It's used to treat epilepsy and poor blood circulation. It's also used as a disinfectant in the form of mouthwash, and it's used to treat fevers. It can also stop dandruff, so a lot of people use this in a hair product. And it also improves your memory. So a lot of people don't know that about rosemary, but rosemary is a very, very powerful herb. We have sage. A lot of you out there have heard of sage, I know it. So many people use this as an aromatic. Also use it in food. It's very good in food. I use a lot of sage in my food, especially my dressings and things like that. And I also use it for cleansing purposes, for aromatic therapy. I use that as well. But sage is also used for head pains. This is another herb that could be used for headaches, head pains, throbbing, and things like that. It's also used for hoarseness and cough, things like laryngitis, tonsillitis, and sore throats associated with stuff like that. When it's infused with honey, it's a mild laxative. So if you gotta go, this is something that'll help you go. It also stimulates your menstrual flow. So if you're starting your menstruation and it's hard to come down and you're having a hard day, how us women, we know what's going on out here. This is something that will help bring it down and aid in that. We have sorrel. Sorrel. Now, this aids in fevers and thirst. And the leaves is also used as a diuretic. So this is something that is not to be taken lightly. You have to really know what you're doing when you're taking sorrel, because this can lead to a very bad situation. We have vervain, and vervain is good for coughs and colds, and it helps with wheezing and shortness of breath that comes with fevers. We also have wintergreen, and that's used as a cooling property. It flavors in mouthwashes, gums, and when topically applied to wounds, it aids in that. It also aids internally with ulcers in the kidney and the bladder, and it's a natural antiseptic.